This is a very happy occasion, and I am your MC, Mary Garjewel. I'm the Vice President for Instruction for Olympic College. And today we're celebrating the completion of this beautiful brand new welding center. Really excited about that. This facility will allow us to offer welding right here on campus, something we have not been able to do since the program began in 2008. We have a full agenda with great speakers and a ribbon cutting and some light refreshments. And I know you'll all want to get a chance to get inside the building to take a peek if you haven't done that yet. So we'll do that soon as we introduce some of the dignitaries that are here. Following the ribbon cutting, you're going to be able to tour, as I said, and the first order of business is to welcome Olympic College President Dr. David Mitchell. We're really pleased to have him here because this is one of his soon-to-be last official types of acts, which is the ribbon cutting for this building, and we have maybe a few more building cuttings to go before he actually retires. But we're happy to have David Mitchell here, so please welcome Dr. David Mitchell, 15-year president of Olympic College.
Thank you, Mary. I don't know about Western Washington residents. They complain about the rain for 9 months and the little sun comes out. And look at all you people who are hiding in the shade. Well, thank you for being here. This is really a great event for Olympic College, Shelton, and for Mason County and all the students and citizens in this area. It seems like just yesterday that we did the groundbreaking, and I'm sure you all remember the great job I did doing the first weld. That was quite exciting. I haven't forgotten that. Thank God I don't have to do it again. There's several people I'd like to introduce, but first we do have a representative here, and our representatives are so supportive of Olympic College. We have great bipartisan support, and one of your local representatives is here, and I'd like to give him an opportunity to say a few words. Drew McEwen, and I've talked with him. I can tell you he's an avid supporter of Olympic College and the students here in the South Mason County area. So, Representative McEwen.
Well, thank you. I'll be brief. Sun's out, it's beautiful, and I don't have a hat on. So, but with that, I wanted to take an opportunity to congratulate Dr. Mitchell and the trustees and Olympic College. It's a fantastic opportunity for this community. And as he said, there is strong bipartisan support for Olympic College and really promoting all the trade skills from our K-12 system on up. And that was a big movement this year in the legislature to do that. And I think it's a fundamental part of this community going forward that we have the opportunity to have the trades, being able to have that training right here in your own community. And with our proximity to the shipyard and a number of other industries, this will be a tremendous opportunity for our youth to further their education, get credentialed, and have an excellent job to go right into the workforce, right within relative proximity to where they grew up. And I think that's a fantastic thing. And these are good quality paying jobs that will be produced right out of this building. And it does seem like it was just a couple days ago that we did the ribbon cutting. And so this is fantastic. Things I think went on track, got this done quickly. And again, I just want to give my thanks to Olympic College and all of you that support it, and look forward to seeing this program thrive and move forward. So congratulations and thank you very much.
Now, we have received a lot of funds from the state over the past 15 years, about $150 million. This building, however, was actually funded by the Bremer Trust, and two of the trustees from the Bremer Trust are here with us today, John Mitchell and Barbara Stevenson. John will be speaking a little bit later, but would they stand and be recognized? Where's Barbara? Where's Barbara? Back there. Okay. Thank you very much. I'd like to recognize some other folks that are here today, important dignitaries in this area. The city of Shelton, the mayor, Gary Krantz. Where's Mayor Krantz at? And he'll be saying a few words later also. And Ryan Wheaton, city manager, over there. and President John Lester and President-elect Will Johnson of the Shelton Mason County Chamber of Commerce. And we have another president here today, the president of the student government for Olympic College. It represents all three campuses, Paulsbo, Shelton, and Bremerton, Shannon Turner. And the vice president for the students right here in Shelton for this campus, Terry Bash. Where's Terry? As I mentioned before, this building would not be possible were it not for the support of the John Bremer Welding Center. Wouldn't be possible were it not for the support of the Bremer Trust. The building is named after John Bremer, who with his brother Edward founded the trust, which has donated over $9 million to the college since its formation in 1987. And it's really unique for a community college to have a income-producing trust like that donate that kind of money, and it really has made a difference here in Shelton and in Bremerton and in Paulsbo, where they supported projects on all three sites. On behalf of everyone at the college, I'd like to thank again John and Barbara, two trustees of the Bremer Trust. When I called and asked John if the trust would consider $1 million. When I first started being president, I would have the nerve to ask somebody for $1 million, but the response was affirmative. It came back in a couple of weeks, and you're looking at the result right here. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge Wes Taylor and everyone at Taylor Shellfish for being great partners. As many of you know, we were located out at the Taylor Shellfish facility out on Highway 101 for many years, and they allowed us to stay several years past when our lease was supposed to expire because we didn't have a place to go. They would have had a right to kick us out, and they didn't. They let us stay there. And I don't know if anyone from Taylor Shellfish is here or not, but if they are, they're great community partners, and the college really appreciates them accommodating the program for so many years. You're going to hear stories about the graduates in this program. Welding is is an outstanding opportunity. There's great jobs out there, and these students are local. They're going to find jobs locally, and it's really a win-win situation. And this building will allow us to increase the capacity of the welding program. I mean, you can't guarantee anything, but it's a very good market right now, and so being able to increase capacity will be able to increase those people who are able to go out into the workforce and contribute to the economy. I look forward to hearing Professor Ron Keating, who's here. He's the lead professor in this program. He's done an outstanding job for us, and we have two welding students, Brian Mikesell and Caitlin Sutter, who will also be speaking, and that's what it's all about. It's providing people, your neighbors, citizens of this area, with the skills and knowledge they need to go out and get a living wage job and a good job. And I really think community colleges, there is an aspirational message. We are the pathway to the American dream, and that's what we're all about, is serving the community and students, and you'll get to hear a couple of their stories in this program. So again, thank you for being here. This is a great day, and I appreciate all the support of the people who live here in South Mason County, and I'm just so pleased to have a new building coming up right here. Thank you.
And as you heard Dr. Mitchell introduce, we're going to next have John Mitchell from the Bremer Trust come up and say a few words. And also, as he mentioned, Barbara Stevenson, who's in the back there with the Hollywood sunglasses. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Barbara and I are very proud to be here today on behalf of the Trust. She and I have both are former college trustees and have seen, I first went on the college board in 1982, and since then there's been a lot of christenings and building openings and other things, but none of them exemplify more the goals of the community college movement than this building. When we came up for the groundbreaking, you've been to a lot of groundbreakings. There's nothing exciting there. But talking to the students that were going to be served in this building really was exciting. This creates not only vocational opportunities, but it also draws them to the campus and gives them a view that goes beyond this community. And in some cases, this community has not met their needs to this point. And being able to support a facility like this welding school really meets needs, helps people have greater visions for their future, and is just wonderful to watch. And we couldn't be any prouder if the main building had been funded by the trust. This is really the sort of a facility that the community college movement is about. Some people at the national level have finally discovered that, and the community colleges are important. But I've really been struck by the importance of this building to this community, and I'm very proud that the trust has been able to be so important in getting it off the ground and getting it built here for your students and for your community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Next up, we're going to give a warm welcome to somebody that I know many of you already know, especially those of you that are community members here. We're going to hear from Dr. Stephen Warner from the Olympic College Board of Trustees, and he is a retired principal who worked many years in the Shelton School Districts. I know many of you already know Steve, so Steve, come on up.
Thank you, Mary. This is exciting to see this new building being constructed here on the Shelton campus. Speaking for the Board of Trustees, I also would like to thank the Bremer Trust for the support in getting this building accomplished. I'd also like to thank Taylor United, who have been an outstanding partner and continue to be an outstanding partner with the college. Another group I would like to thank is the administrative staff led by Dr. Mitchell, who worked very hard to make sure that this became a reality. I don't see Dr. Ash here, but congratulations, you finally got it built. And I remember many hours of, oh no, road restrictions and tense moments before we got this built. I think it shows a commitment to the students that we have here in Shelton. You're going to meet some of the students in this welding program, and they're very, very fine examples of the students that we have here on campus in Shelton. And I hope that this is just the beginning of a movement to assure that the students who attend the Shelton site of Olympic College have the equity of access to OC programs that they deserve. Thank you.
I want to make it to my retirement in December, so I better introduce 3 other trustees that are also my bosses. 4. Oh, okay. Jim Page, Bev Cheney, Darlene Peters, and Chair-elect Harry Bryant.
Okay, I was just about to do that, but you got it. Let's now hear from the City of Shelton Mayor Gary Krantz, and he's going to be with us today to share a few words. So thank you, Mayor Krantz.
Thank you. Now, Drew McEwen says he's just going to say a few words. He speaks for about half an hour. But when I say I'm only going to speak for a few words, I'm only going to speak for 25 minutes, okay? So, it's an honor and a privilege to be here with such quality people, civic leaders in this community. I remember being a boy, a young man, and going to Olympic College in Bremerton and getting a partial education until I chose a career in playing guitar in bars, and I kind of took a little sidetrack there. But my father was a welder, so I've been around welding my whole life. I remember when this campus was built over here and how the people came together and raised money to get the first campus buildings going.
And this is just an extension. It's exciting, and the city of Shelton is extremely proud and happy to be partners with Olympic College in opening this new facility. Thank you.
Okay, and now on to the fun part. No event is complete without hearing from our students. So we have the welding professor here with us, Ron Keeling. I want to just take us just a little aside before we do that, though, and mention a couple other people that are here. Chris Hobson, longtime welding professor from Olympic College Shelton and in Bremerton, is over here, so I wanted to acknowledge him. He's a Shelton community member too. So, and also Dean Norma Whitaker, who now maybe is hiding. Where'd she go? Norma Whitaker over here in the shade, the Dean for Business and Technology, and she works tirelessly to support and advocate for the welding program and all of our students in business and technology. But next up will be Professor Ron Keeling. He's going to introduce two students that we'll have the pleasure to hear from today. He'll introduce Brian Mikesell and Caitlin Sutter. So if Ron will come up, he gets to introduce the students.
I am up. They always get me with the short jokes, but I don't bump my heads on those welding booths in there. Okay, I want to say thank you to Chris Hobson and Molly Casey. She's out there. A lot of people have complimented me on the shop. Well, if I didn't have her for organization, and she said, this needs to go here, this needs to go there, this needs to be over here. So she did a wonderful job on arranging my shop, and I appreciate it. My job is easy, just teaching these people how to weld. When you got people that want to learn how to do something, it's such an easy job and it's so fulfilling. So with that, I'm going to bring up Brian Mikesell so he can tell you a little bit about the program.
Thank you. So I've been in the welding program here at Olympic College for about a year now. And little background on me, I worked at the Olympic Panel Products, the plywood mill downtown, for 20 years before they shut down, and was feeling kind of lost, didn't know where to go next. I was given this great opportunity for retraining, and it turns out I really like welding, so that's pretty cool. And we started out at, when I first started, at Taylor United in their facility, and I didn't know any better. I mean, it was good for me. Learned a lot out there, and the first time I walked into this shop, it was kind of a wow moment. Everything's organized and clean. It makes everything easier to learn. Everything's got a place to go, and I appreciate everyone that made this possible, because it's kind of a big deal, for our little part of the world. So thank everyone that made it happen. Thank you.
Next, we got Caitlin. By the way, Brian's got an interview with the shipyard, so good on him. I have 6 of my students that are getting interviews with the shipyard, and more than likely will get hired, so I'm so thankful to the shipyard. But here's Caitlin.
It's hot. All right, my name is Caitlin Sutter. I'm nearly halfway through the welding program here at Olympic College. I'd like to share with all of you the reason I decided to take up welding and why it turned out to be one of the best decisions I have made. Before I started welding, I was going to school for something else, but the passion that had driven me for years to work in the veterinary field was starting to burn out. The independence and determination that I knew I so strongly possessed were turning into doubt and nervousness. After trudging through some very hard times, I was worried that the career path I had personally invested so much time and heart into had been the wrong choice. I knew it was time for a career change. I took home a flyer from the school that advertised for a welding workshop here at Olympic College. I had taken an intro to welding class at SPSCC many years ago and really enjoyed it, but could I weld for a living? Would people want to hire a woman welder? Would have a problem with being taken seriously? So I decided to go to this information workshop thing, but made the decision at the last minute. I remember thinking, oh geez, I'm gonna show up late, walk into a room filled with burly welders who are all going to take one look at me, an awkward and odd lady trying very hard to look like a welder, and just laugh. I hadn't forgotten that I was a girl walking into a career dominated by men. As I walked towards the classroom the workshop was to be held in, I noticed the lights were off. I thought I was only 10 minutes late. Was I at the wrong campus? Then a fellow got my attention and asked if I was there for the welding shop. He laughed, telling me I was more than an hour late and that he was just on his way out. He then introduced himself to me as Ron Keeling, one of the welding instructors at Olympic College. Embarrassed, I followed him into the classroom and had an inspiring conversation with him. Casting away my doubt, he told me what would be in store for me as a welding student. He honestly answered all of my questions and made me feel like I could do this. I was so excited that with the help of Rose, wherever she is, who happened to be on campus at the time, I changed my courses right then and there. And just a week later, I started class with new determination and a fresh start. And a quarter later, I started welding. I was so nervous, but I did my best to play cool. I met a wonderful lady named Molly, who is also out there somewhere, who introduced herself to me as a filler medal of the welding program, which is a fact. Her and Rom helped me ease into the life of the weld shop. I made a weird face, bracing for some criticism when I showed Ron my first weld. To my surprise, he made a face back, but he looked excited. He told me I had a knack for welding, and that was wonderful news because this is my life now. I strived for constructive criticism with each piece of steel that I welded, but additional compliments and praise were never far from Ron and Molly, and that really meant a lot to me. I was becoming proud of my work, and it had been a long time since I'd felt that feeling. I mean, I know they're just pieces of welded scrap metal, but to me, they were little bits of proof that I can be successful. In fact, I have a very heavy container filled to the brim with many pieces of this success in my closet right now. And with this feeling of success, I've grown more independent and more confident. This welding program that I signed up for so quickly has opened so many doors to me that I once told myself were locked. I keep joking that I'm going to weld myself my own shop that'll house my own welding machines and equipment and all of my own tools and projects. I'll be able to reach a point where I can turn a design on a piece of paper into a metallurgical reality. I'm so excited for this new career of mine, and I couldn't have done it without Ron, Molly, and the entire welding program offered at the Olympic College here in Shelton, and now on campus. I may be a slightly awkward and odd lady, but I'm also a damn good welder. Thank you.
I think the students definitely deserve another big, huge whoop and holler round of applause. Congratulations to both of you, and I know it wasn't without some difficulty. We had a little bit of a later start this summer. Some students are having to go to school a little bit longer, and so I'd also like to have another big round of applause for Professor Keeling because he's been kind of holding the ship together as it's gotten underway. So thank you. And I just learned right before we started from Dean Whitaker that we already have 2 sections of welding full for the fall, and we're probably going to be maybe looking at adding some more. So pretty cool news. And that's what this is all about. So now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the ribbon cutting.